for a quick Devar Torah. And one of the interesting things in this week's Parsha, we have the majority of the spies, the delegation, as I mentioned before, that they give a bad report. But two of them disagree, and they give a totally different report. They don't say that the land is that's going to be easy to conquer the land. They don't say that life in the land will be easy, but they say that we should trust in God. These two are Caleb and Joshua. And we know that Joshua singled out before the mission by Moses, who says his original name was Hoshea. And Moses changes his name to Yehoshua, or Joshua, from Hosea to Joshua, uh, signaling that he's going to have a much more important role to play as the story unfolds. Caleb is also with him, and together they give a totally different report. They say, yes, the land it'll be hard and everything, but the results will be great for us. And we can do it because we we have God. And remember, this is the generation. They saw the plagues in Egypt. They saw the crossing of the Sea of Reeds. They were there. They were at Mount Sinai. This is the generation that not only did they know about this, they witnessed it. Uh, and Joshua and Caleb uh, are in that generation. They know, yes, we can do it. What gave them the strength? Well, Caleb had two things in his favor. Number one, he was Moses' brother-in-law. He was married to Miriam. And she being his wife gave him a lot of strength to withstand bad advice. The other was when he went into the land of Israel, he separated himself from the others in the delegation. He went to Hebron, to the tomb of the patriarchs and the matriarchs in Hebron. So he wanted to get that spiritual oomph, as it were, for what he was about to do. Joshua, of course, was Joshua. He would become the leader of the Jewish people after Moses. And this is an important lesson also in leadership. Now, there's a thing that if you witness something and other people say, well, you really didn't see it, after a while you will deny that you saw it. It's a sort of psychological thing that we have. We always want to get along. Joshua and Caleb don't fall into that trap. And because of that, they are basically becoming leaders. A leader has to lead, he has to listen to the people, but he also has to let the people know when they are wrong, when it gets really hard, that it's not going to be easy, but we're on the right track. Uh, Much like if you look out through American history, uh, JFK at his inauguration mentioned about the United States going to the moon, saying we're not doing this because it is easy, but because it is hard. A leader has to stand by his principles. If he doesn't stand by his principles, he's not a leader. And we see this throughout history. There were leaders who stood by their principles, and we Jews are people also who throughout our history have to stand by principle. There are a lot of things said about us which are blatantly untrue, and we know them to be untrue. Now, there are those who go along with what the people are saying and will denounce Israel, etc., because they want to get along with all their friends. But there are those of us who we feel that if our friends are lying about us, then they're not really good friends. Remember that Abraham was called the Ivri, the one who stood on the other side. He knew that idolatry was wrong. He knew that ethical monotheism was the way to go, even though the whole world told him he was wrong. He didn't care. He knew that everybody in the world was wrong except him. And it turned out that in the end, he was the one who was proven to be correct. So we have to be able to withstand bad advice and bad counsel. We have to stand up for our principles and for what is right. Something to think about.